Cool. So we are here today, 10th March, and Alan Vasalan. Welcome. Hello, everyone. People connecting from London, UK, India, I don't know, so many places. And nice to have you, all of you over here. And the hero of today is Oz Tusili, my friend. And he is going to talk about dynamic arrays in Excel. And it will be very interesting to see what Oz will be having for us today on the dynamic arrays part with the data quality. We know all Oz is very famous for the data and famous for his YouTube channel. And so I finally got him and requested him that please come to Excel Meetup Saudi Arabia and show us something on the dynamic arrays with data quality. So just a very quick intro about myself. I'm Faraz Shaikh, and I'm a founder of excelexciting.com. I'm an MCD, I'm an MIE, Microsoft Innovative Educator. I'm a blogger, I'm a YouTuber, and I like to run meetups and share my knowledge about Microsoft Excel and other Power platforms. So my mission is very simple: to help the community and to help you, my friends, and give you the easiest solution with the power we have it in our hands with the tools. So just quick about our past events. If you like to check them out, these are our past events. Uh, how to build Excel Power BI model faster by Ken Pulse. And I'll be sharing the link in the below video description and even the custom functions by Power Query by Gasper. And just quick
Custom.
about our upcoming events. And in our upcoming events, we are going to
And
is
your audio is chopping up,
here in the
Faraz.
meetup, and hi from. Is it clear now?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah,
Right.
Robo Faraz. All right.
Thank
Yeah.
you all. Thank you all.
You're
So I'm
welcome.
having my brother Alan Murray from UK, who will be coming and showing us some thing about index. Index is still the king. I don't
King
know
of
why he believes
functions.
in
Now,
it.
what is that? What is that?
I really don't know. I'm really excited to see what he has for us on Index is still the king. So if you want to see the secret, what is there, then make sure that you go and sign up for the meetup. And on the 24th of March, we are going to meet again.
Is this when he
And
pulls out the smoke and mirrors? I don't know.
then we have the most eligible bachelor in our Excel community, Rahim Zulfikar, who will be coming and talking about Power BI, and he'll be talking about some advanced analytical stuff to be done in the Power BI. And he'll be showing some dashboards, and he'll be talking about how to monitor the reports with the Power BI in the finance part, and we'll be seeing some KPI metrics, uh, what he was mentioning. Then we have a very interesting person, Oakley from UK.
Oakley. Turvey.
Yes, yes, Oakley. We were discussing and to schedule up the meetup, and he said that for us, I want to put it up about this VBA. I said, okay, great. So he is going to show us how best we can use a VBA, even if you are not a champ of a VBA, even if you are not yet expert in VBA, but he has some great tips and tricks for us. So how can we perform it faster and those tasks doing with the VBA. So make sure that you go and sign up for these events, upcoming events, so you can catch up the excitement. And we'll be having some more also. Then we wanted to enjoy the experience of this amazing meetup with Oz. So to have that best experience, once the session started, you request you to keep it yourself mute, but you're free to unmute yourself and talk also, no problem.
Yeah,
If you're
talk.
having some issues with the connections or connectivity, just pop out yourself and just pop in again. So we will take care of that one. And feel free to put your questions in the chat box. Okay, we'll be happy to answer that. And there are some great experts also in the chat room, those who can help you out on your queries as well. And if you have something to speak, please feel free to raise up your hands and or just tightly unmute and
Man, Faraz, you don't you that says 6 of 18. You got that many more slides?
yes, I have one more.
Okay.
No, in fact, I was
We
planning
got
around it.
12 more slides. Okay. Let's
So I have some more. The next slides are really interesting. You will love it all.
Gotta
Okay,
double down on that introduction.
right.
so so here we have it today. Oz, our hero of today, Oz Risley, talking about data quality. Oz was the first person I met him in Bulgaria, and it was really fun memories over there with Oz. Oz is very passionate about his hats, and I really like him. You know, when we met, we had great memories over there. Oz. So
Yep.
we have Tony over here. You can see Tony,
Yep. Tony.
Oz, and Tanya.
Tanya.
By the way, what we are discussing over here, Oz, I don't know. Wow, you were
It was
thinking,
something scary.
yeah, something scary.
Yeah.
And this is me and Oz
Yep.
again,
That's right. Yep.
giving an Avenger pose in the fight mode with Excel. And that's again me and Oz over here. So these are
And
some
Layla.
memories with,
And Layla.
yeah, Layla as well. Yes, Layla as well. So these were some great memories with Oz over there. I wish we got another chance again to meet in person
Yeah.
and meet those memory again.
Yes.
So my friend Oz, I'm leaving the floor for you. Now, please go ahead and show us what you
Okay.
have here.
All right. So I share my screen.
Sure.
All right. Oh, only one person at a time. Oh, here.
Okay, I'll stop sharing.
Okay. All right. So there is my screen. And yes, so I'm going to be talking about the dynamic arrays and specifically from a data cleansing, data quality perspective. And that includes, anything that we have to do to data before it's useful. Find out if it's complete, find out if there's any weird stuff, reshape it. Because in this example, we've got order A1 and the color is black and they want 3 cans or tubes or whatever. Okay. And then let's see, A18 is blue gray and there's 3. So how do we get this unstacked? And please don't leave me out here by myself. I like to hear people talk with me. All right. How are we going to unstack this? Equals, we're going to use the sequence function. Okay. And then we need the number of rows. And I'm going to use count A to get the number of rows in this table here. Close parentheses. And then I want to divide this by 3 because every record has 3 rows to it. So divide by 3, comma, how many columns? 3. Close parentheses, enter. Okay. So that's what we've got, right? Okay, so now the real magic happens here. Equals index. Oh, the king, right? Okay, all right. See, Alan might be making me a believer here. I did not expect to be using index like this. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go to what array? I want this array and then comma here. And then I need the hashtag so that this will look at the entire range. You see how it's now highlighted the whole thing. All right. and then close parentheses, enter. Now this stuff is all unstacked. Check it out. Okay, and then we have some more. Add that in. Now it's going to 87. And now we have those added orders. Everything is unstacked. And if there is something that I need to do with it, then I can go highlight, slide, slide. Copy here as values only. And then now I can take this into Power Query and group it, whatever else I need to do with it. But it's all unstacked and now is useful. All right.
You love index, really.
Yeah, see, it has its place. It has its place. Why, briefly, why do you say that's the king of functions?
I can't believe you're denying. Flexible, that's its thing. Multiple uses.
Okay, okay,
Um,
all right,
which we will see in a few weeks.
all right, all right. I'm gonna be ready. All right, cool. So
Better not
this,
disappoint.
huh?
I was telling Alan, it better not disappoint.
Yeah, yeah. See,
Oh, pressure. Don't you guys start giving me trouble on the day. Keep them at the back, Faraz. Keep them away.
yeah. All right. So there is the data, the unstacking. All right. So any questions here? Anybody have to deal with this kind of stuff? Is this at all interesting?
Yeah,
And
I have one question.
mm-hmm.
What if that these unstacked these orders are not equivalent? For example, if these are all three by three coming in, so something
Right,
like 4 or 5 uneven distribution.
right. Then you got a different problem, and then probably go deal with it in Power Query or some other way. But this would not work for that.
Right, right. And I was just going through one video today, and that was from Chandu. What he did is, from as example, your data is starting from A3. So he just wrote that equals to A3. Then in next row, in the color column equals to A4. Then in the count equals to A5, and then he just dragged that entire function, and then
Mhm.
he selected that blank cells and remove shift up cells, so that particular thing also do uh,
Ah,
unstacking as well.
okay. All right. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I saw that video this morning. You posted it on LinkedIn this
Yeah,
morning, and I
yes,
took a
yes.
peek at it. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So some more stuff for me to learn. All right. Cool. See what is next. Not going to save that. Go on to the next thing. Okay. Here, this is really where we get into data quality stuff. Is there anything crazy going on here? All right. So let's look. We've got the ticket, the apartments, the request type. So it's pest control. Like these people have wasps living in the shed. We got complete, a lot of blanks. So before we can do any type of analysis on here, maybe we want to find out how many hours each one took and then break it down by how many hours we spent on pest control or whatever. So, but can we trust this data? Let's look. Equals unique. Uh-oh, unique. What do I want to look at? Let's look at the requests and then just hit enter. Look at this. Pest control with no space in the middle. Complete. No, that's happening right here. God damn it. Okay, so let's do this. Let's see. I don't want this column, but let's see. this should be the status. Denise is in the status. So let me put this up here. Request status assigned to. Don't need this column. Okay, so Dave and David are the same person. So that would need to be cleaned up before we do anything. Okay. Denise is in the status complete and done. This should officially be complete. So if we did any type of analysis on this, it would be all messed up because this has got to get fixed. All right. And this is one really great thing when Unique came out because it helps us do this kind of stuff. And we could do this in a pivot table, but then, we'd have to put it into a pivot table or several pivot tables and move it around. But then also we go in and clean this stuff up. Okay, that should be complete. Okay, now Denise is gone and I didn't have to refresh anything. Right, so I could go and then see, how many of these things are blank or whatever. Clean up Dave and David until they're gone away. So any questions about this? This is pretty simple, straightforward, but important, and so many people do not do it. All right.
Well, I have a question. I have come across when such kind of a data, uh, these data like completed. When the user they entered the data, they will add trailing and leading spaces. So when you are absolutely the unique function is very helpful, and it can identify the complete if it is having a trailing space or leading space. So it will show you two completes. So
Yeah.
this is a very common problem with the data entry when it comes.
Yeah. So if I were to do something like this,
With a space, complete space.
yeah, I've got electrical and electrical. So what is the deal there?
Yes.
Yeah. So then you go fish around and look for that, right? And then you straighten it out. Yeah, you got to tell all your friends to do this because so many folks don't do it. And I've seen, really smart people with fancy stuff going on that they're not checking the data quality like this. Okay.
Hey, Oz.
Yes.
Couldn't you also use advanced filter to do this too? If you wanted to?
Can. Yes, you can. And it, I have a chapter on it in my book, Guerrilla Data Analysis. And yes, you can do that with advanced filter, but it's like this forgotten thing. And you got to know what you're doing before you, because this stuff can get complicated fast. When you try to do certain filters in here. But yes, you can do a advanced filter for unique records only, and then you have to tell it where you want it to put the resulting data.
Would it actually be more of a plus to do that since you can put in a criteria where unique doesn't allow that? Or could you make a formula to make it do that?
Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. Now, I'm not so heavy on advanced filter. But what do you mean put in a criteria?
Well, you just had it open where it says the criteria filter. Would it allow you to do that with some kind of modification of the unique formula too? Like right below where it says list range?
Right, yeah. So anybody know about this? Anybody have an answer for this? Because what happens though is, let me see.
Just choose unique records only.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. But then the list range and the criteria range. Oh, the criteria range.
Criteria is the headers.
Criteria range is where you say something like, you go over here and you say something like whatever is greater than or equal to something else.
We need to assign the criteria with the header's name. Like if you are supposed, we have a ticket numbers.
Yeah,
Let's say
yeah,
if you want to filter the ticket number greater than 10, then that criteria logical test has to be given over there.
right,
So that logical test has to be passed into the advanced filter. But the
but
game I used to play with this filter
right,
only to extract unique records. Trust me.
right. That's that's it.
Get money
Because
off.
because it's real fiddly, and you got to know what you're doing in order to go over here and make, say, this 3 cells worth of criteria in the advanced filter. So
Yeah, it's
Yes.
it's
complicated.
fiddly.
You put stuff
Yeah,
on separate rows for ands or ors as well.
right, right. Yes.
So it
Yep.
sounds like it just kind of expands the functionality, but it's not really necessary for this purpose.
Right.
I'm guessing.
I
Okay.
Right.
think the best one, I think also, and everybody will agree with me, the Power Query can seal the deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Power
this is
Query
my
can do.
question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What's the limit that you would recommend keeping it with dynamic arrays and then switching to Power Query?
Well,
Because
I
of
wouldn't
course, if
think.
you have 1 million here, well, that's the maximum. And if you
Well,
pass 1 million, okay, you need Power Query. But have you tested with larger data sets? I don't know, 200,000 rows or things like this?
no, I haven't. Because my data sets don't tend to be that big. And when I think about whether to do something with dynamic arrays versus Power Query, it would be like if I had maybe 50 of these, and I'm not going to be able to eyeball like pest versus pest control if it's a stack of 50, then I'm going into Power Query to automate more of this. Also, as I clean this up, I can see things go away and I can see what I'm still dealing with without having to refresh.
Okay. Would it be useful here to wrap everything in a sort? Wrap the unique function in a sort so you have them in order?
There you go.
Oh, yeah, it's easier to spot it like this.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Yep. All right. Okay. So this is based on, say, a storytelling show that I've performed in a lot. And the producers might want to know, have the same 4 people been together before? Okay, so we've got Erica Noel, Steve Norris. Have these exact 4 people been in here in any other place? And then we look at the performances. And then if we can find out if certain groups have been together more than once, does their performance rating show anything? Okay, so here is sort. Uh-oh, we're going left to right and not up and down. Sort index, don't matter. Sort order, don't matter. By column, true. Look at that. And then I'm gonna do this. Text join. What do I want as the delimiter? How about this? How about double quote, space, colon, space, double quote, comma, ignore empty. That doesn't matter. Let's see, I'm gonna put false. Anyway, okay. Comma. And then there's our text. Go to the end, close parentheses, enter. Oh, check that out. Now, okay, so we got everything is in order Instead of Erica Noel Steve Norris, Erica Noel Norris Steve. Everything is in order. Drag this down. Look at that. Okay, now let's do something simple like this. Conditional formatting and then duplicate values. Okay, so now we could go through and see, okay, here are these people. And then here they are again. Okay, but we do have Erica. Okay, these four groups this group has been together 4 times. All right, so we can then analyze this stuff by team, and now it's more useful than this. And then of course we could take this into Power Query and unpivot and do all kind of other things. But this is to show you that sort can work left, right, not just up, down. All right, and then if we did want to do this equals sort. Oh, watch out now. And there are the 4. All right, questions? Anything? Giant. Okay, but watch out for people with beards. All right. We're moving fast here, folks. You got to slow me down. All right. Anybody do sort left, right? Anything similar to this? No. The church says no. Faraz, you need to start handing out some coffee to these people. Get them, wake up. Alan says no, that would spin my world. What do you mean? Come off of mute, Alan. Talk to me. What does that mean?
What's all this horizontal sorting malarkey?
Oh, what? Malarkey. Oh, man. Well, you haven't had to do this.
Not really, not that I can remember.
Okay.
I know you get the option in the, in the feature as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So rare. I think I'd have to lie down after doing one of those.
Well, yeah. Just lay down. Rest, Alan.
Rahim has a question.
Okay, Raheem.
Yes, put it in the chat box. Dynamic arrays formulas are not in every version of Excel, so a lot of users is not able to use it, and many organizations are not switching to the latest coming version. Too fast. Will Microsoft do all for? Okay. Any other idea then, rather than handling with non-dynamic array solution? This is what your question, right, Rahim? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Any solution we can handle it with non-dynamic array. But I think today we are talking about with the dynamic arrays. But
Right, yeah. So if I had to do this, my initial thought would be Power Query, to take this into Power Query and unpivot it and then sort it by the day and the person's name. Right, and then pivot it back. Then everything would be in alphabetical order. Okay, but right, dynamic arrays. All right, any other questions?
What? Yeah, go ahead.
Would you need an index column in that case if you bring it into Power Query, just to keep the data sets in their original order?
I think day 1, this would act as my index column.
Okay.
If we were to do that, see, let's see. Unpivot other columns. So, okay, so this is what I would need to do would be, I want to move this over and then this, and then unpivot other columns. And then sort by the day, then by person. So now day 1, everybody's in order. Day 10, everybody's in order. Right, and then we wouldn't need this column. Or, yeah, we would, because then we would pivot it back, right? We would need to do the pivot don't aggregate later. But yeah, that's how I would do it in Power Query. Oh, see, we're doing it all today. Just don't ask me no VBA questions. Okay, any other questions? Did that help? Was that insightful at all?
Definitely.
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right. See, don't leave me hanging out here. Okay.
Yeah, Oz, I
Okay.
want to ask something.
Yes.
Basically, dynamic array formulas are in the latest version of Excel, and we don't have it in Excel 2013 or 2016. So is there announcement of general availability for these functions to become in the previous versions by the Microsoft?
Might need some help answering that question.
I will.
Okay,
If
go
you
ahead.
allow me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rahim, currently in the organizations, see, of course, the Microsoft new technology. As of now, we are more on the cloud base, so if organizations are not having, means of course they have to upgrade it because of these new features which are coming, but they can still take the benefit with the free Excel Online,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah.
supports all these great dynamic arrays functionality. If I need to work around in that fashion, then I would work it on Excel Online, get my job done, and then I can go back to my work and I can use the Excel version what I have it. So this would be the workaround which I would do it. If
But yeah, a
Oz
lot
has
of
something.
organizations will not allowing their employees to put their confidential data on the cloud and then come back to the
Yeah.
desktop version. So
Yeah.
that's the compliance and audit issue for them as well.
Yeah, it's complicated. It's a mess with all these different versions.
So just like we don't have the Power Query and Power Pivot in Excel 2010, but we have the add-ins to download and then
Right.
install it. So might
Right.
be a kind of a patch or add-in should be introduced, or might be it's a journal availability in future. But at present, a lot of big or a large number of users are not able to see the power of dynamic arrays at the moment. Only
Right.
few
Right.
of them.
They're not right. And then you're talking about these standalone versions of Excel that still get these every 3-year updates. So there's things that come out, something might come out next week, that'll only be for the subscription users and not the standalone users.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
We have something in the chat box that
Okay.
VBA will never die.
They're
Alan.
talking about VBA.
Yes.
And what is this? Giant. Format control. Okay. All right. So let's see. Here's this example where here I have this data. We've got the applicants and whether they are attending or not and the fees that they have paid. So now, before we do anything with this, is there anything funny going on? So let's see. Are there any attendees that are not in our Y equals filter, open parentheses, filter. Okay, so I want to do this. Copy, include where, I got to put this in parentheses because I'm going to filter on 2 criteria. This column does not equal double quote Y double quote, close parentheses, and open parentheses, this same range does not equal capital N, close parentheses, comma, all good in case everything is fine. Let's hit enter. Okay, so we do have blanks. What is this question mark? We got an M. We got to find out what's going on here before we can do anything with this data. And then we say, okay, so this person is a yes. Now they're gone from the array. All right, and then we get in touch with the people who are blank, figure out this M, figure out this other question mark because, yeah. All right. Now, is anyone a no, but they also paid a fee? Equals filter, open parentheses, the array. Comma, include, open parentheses, where, so it's got to slow down here, with this range is equal to a capital N, close parentheses, and open parentheses, this range is greater than 0, close parentheses, close parentheses. Oh, I want to say if empty, all good, close parentheses, enter. Okay, so we don't have anybody who said no, they're not coming, but they also paid a fee. So we don't have to process any refunds. So if this was 300 euros, okay, so now we got to deal with that. But that's not the case. So we are all good. Questions, thoughts? Oh, and Patterson is talking about Microsoft versions. And okay. Yeah, Faraz mentions Power Query solutions. Yeah, because I do use a lot of Power Query, but this is really quick. Anything? Any questions, thoughts, comments, shouts, requests for life advice? Oh, Patterson, you're saying that was throwing you off?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay. Well, don't be shy. Okay, so what do you want to know?
I was just wondering why you kept saying "and" when you put in a multiplication sign. I guess they said you're just doing you're multiplying your logic, I guess.
Yeah, that's the and. When you want to filter where you want both, where you want both criteria, then you have an and. A plus sign would be an or.
The default version, the default filter has only one criteria. If you want to add more, you have to either multiply them for and or add them for or.
Right.
Well, don't they actually have the functions and or? Could those work too, or do you have to use the multiplication thing?
I think it's related
Ooh.
to the array formulas, which are transforming the data in one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, I was
True and false.
thinking about that.
Yeah, yeah. And I did a video where I went deeper into this and showed how an equal sign between the two means one or the other, but not both. Right. So
Right.
there's a lot of these that you can go through doing the Boolean math on these.
Gotcha.
I think if you highlighted the first condition and press F9, you will see true, 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 false, and
That is true. Yeah, that's correct. And then as soon as you do the multiply operator, it will spin them into ones and zeros.
I see Mike Gervin do that F9 trick. So how is that done?
select the first parenthesis, complete. No, the D2, D35 equal N, and
Right.
press F9. False,
Okay.
false, false, true. And then if you multiply this with the same thing on the other side, this is the end. This is how the end is explained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be careful to press escape when you've done that, otherwise it hard codes that into your function.
Control Z.
Extremely annoying when it does that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now that's how you can filter and see what's going on inside your data. All right. See what's next. Some really snaky stuff. Okay. So we've got this list of grants, and let's say today is the 20th of July in 2020, and which can we still apply for? And consider that today we're going to need at least 14 days to put together an application. So anything that has a deadline of 3 days from now, we don't want to see it. All right. So let's see. Equals filter, open parentheses. We want to filter this array, comma, include what? Include this range where it is greater than or equal to this plus this. Okay. And then close parentheses, enter. These are the ones that we can still apply for. So let's see if there's anything fishy. So like the 1st of August, that's coming up too soon. And 1st of August is not in the result. All right. So now, but grants over 1,000. So I'm going to go back in parentheses around. Okay. Okay. I need a parentheses there. And open parentheses, the grant amount is greater than or equal to this number. Close parentheses, close parentheses. Okay.
Missing a comma.
Yeah. Where did I miss the comma?
Yeah, there. E to 2. Yeah, 23.
The filter, yeah, the range.
Okay. Okay. So we do have the $1,000 one. All right. And then let's do this. Sort, open parentheses, comma, 4. All right. So now it is sorted by the date. The date is the 4th position. All right. Questions, anything? All right, and then here is something. Wow, okay. I'm gonna sort 2 ways, sort this data set 2 ways. And then this is the last one I have for you. Okay. Equals sort, open parentheses. All right. Comma. We want to sort by the data set, sort by the type ascending and the amount descending. Okay, so we've got to put curly brackets, 2, 3 curly brackets, because we want to sort by the second one and the third one, comma, curly bracket 1 for ascending, comma, -1 for descending. Close the curly brackets, close the parentheses, enter. And there we go. So now I've got to do something like this. All right, so now it is sorted by the type and by the dollar amount.
Yes, I missed this.
Did Brown say something? Somebody said something. All right, anyway, all right, so there you go. I'm glad Claudia liked that. Oh, so great tip on this last one. So the others were like, but this one, all right. Right, dynamic arrays do not hold the formatting. They also, one frustration is that they don't bring the headers over either. So, so if I wanted this to be my final, I would have to brag my headers over and then save this as values only, and then whatever, email it to somebody or send them their own workbook. But yeah, they don't hold formatting or the headers. And Patterson is saying you could write a macro to fix that. Probably. All right, Claudia. All right, thank you. The other ones were good too.
I'm just saying, sometimes you got to use VBA, even if you don't like it.
Sometimes, no, you know what I do? I say, hey, I will help you find somebody write that VBA code. Because it's not gonna be me, right? that's what I do. Yes, you use the formulas to make for the headers. Yeah. All right. So that is what I had. And any other questions? Want to see anything else? I just want to open up and just talk.
Any questions, you can feel free to ask.
Thanks, Alan.
The interesting part, is when we are working with large data, and yes, the trick which you showed about the unique is really handy when it comes. You don't need to push your data into pivot table, then create a cache, make the file bigger. So
Right.
dynamic arrays are handy in that case a lot to
Yeah.
test the quality of your data. Just to quickly test the quality.
Let's see about this. So, comma, include. So I want to do a plus. Well, let's say this is equal to education, or I've got to put the parentheses in, or this range is equal to, let's say, technology. Okay, so there's an example of an or, okay, by using the plus sign.
What does the division sign do?
Hmm?
Does divide also have a different meaning?
No, divide doesn't. Let's see. No, divide doesn't, but here is one thing, is equals.
What about minus?
No, equal is not going to be a good example. Because, okay, so what I've got now is I've got human services. I don't have technology or education. Okay, so that's what that did. Yeah. And I've got a video where I go through all of this stuff.
This is the anti-join.
Can you throw that video link in the chat, like before we end? I kind of want to
Sure.
watch that.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's probably a couple of years old, that, isn't it?
Huh?
That video, I think you did that quite a while ago, didn't you?
Yeah.
Probably a year and a half old or something.
You've been
I'll
watching
drop it
my.
in the chat, boss. I'll drop it.
You found it. Okay, because I think I did 2 videos where I dug down into the filter. Okay, so Faraz has it handled. Okay. So
Al's been tracking you, man.
I see. Yeah.
Everywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
Ozcam. Now,
I think to see that.
I think you spoke about some of those in Amsterdam, like the year before last.
Okay.
I believe I remembered you presenting on filter there. And that was just after you'd done the video, which is why.
So wait, what does the minus do?
Nothing. Well, it does, but it's useless. Just he's working on the ones and the zeros. So each element of the array, which is why you had the div/0 error there for divide. Because it would try like 1 divided by 0 and just fall over.
So look,
sorry, go on.
The minus is giving us education and technology. So what would be interesting is if we did this on 2 separate columns, where in one example, I think I do, I have addresses and they've got a large yard, a small yard, and a medium yard and a swimming pool. And I say, I'll have a swimming pool and a small yard. But I don't want to have a large yard and a swimming pool because that's just going to eat up my whole Saturdays. So by using the logic, I can fish that out. But it's a lot of thinking, trying to come up with examples, relevant examples for these things.
On your examples, on your examples, you seem to mix it up. Like some of your examples, you've got data as tables, and then on this one, you're using a range. Is that intentionally just to do a bit of both? just to.
Right, that's not deliberate. Usually I would just put stuff in tables.
Yeah.
Yeah, and simplify everything. Yeah.
Do you have any big data sets? I'd be kind of interested to see what Christian was talking about earlier.
No, and that's an interesting thing is in all of my years, I have not worked with really huge data sets over, say, maybe 100,000 rows. Usually it is, say, 6,000 rows, but they're nasty. We got first and last names in the same cell, and some don't have addresses, and there's a bunch of multiple records, and then you got a person in there with 4 records, but one of them has an email address. Now I got to, okay, clear that, but keep the one that has the email address. That's a whole lot of what I've done over the past 20-ish years. I haven't done analysis, not much with graphs. The VBA I've done has been around this kind of stuff. So I am going to
said 100,000 because if you're thinking about DAX, 100,000 it's nothing. It depends on what you are adjusting to. Because if you would say 100,000 rows 10 years ago, no, not 10, 15.
It's 9 o'clock.
Would have been huge, more than 65,000 that Excel could do. But now 100,000, it's really small in terms of even of 1 million, what you have in normal Excel. So it's relative. The number, it's everything relative.
Yeah. So I see, let's see. We got Ilgar. Привет, доброе утро. You've turned back into a robot. What'd you say?
From YouTube. And oh, really? I said any last words for our YouTube friends, because we are going to turn off now the live, and we will still hang out over here on the Zoom.
Just
last tips.
No, thanks for being here, and hopefully you got some use out of it, or had some fun meeting with everybody. Yeah.
Thank you. And make sure, my friends, that don't forget to join the next meetup, which we are going to have it with my brother Alan Pai from UK, Rahim, and Oakley. And some more amazing guests are going to come and join us. And in fact, you can go to my website also. There's a page which I have created for all the meetups, where you can go and check out Alan meetups and Romania meetup. So there's a lot of things that are happening. So there's a calendar view. Just straight away go there and you can check it out. And lovely to have you all over here, my friends. So we are now signing off from YouTube, and see you soon. Take care. Bye. And thank you all for giving your time and sharing us that knowledge.
Giant. All right.
Thank you. And there we go. Bye.